be a star, and I knew it. I knew it because she made a record when I was only 6 years old. A 45, you remember those? No one said it would be easy on one side, and needed you first on the other. She even got some local airplay, and I clapped every time the DJ said her name. I watched her at the piano, at the dining room table, at her guitar, hunched over notebooks, scribbling while she sputtered phrases and melodies, confessions and rhythm. 5'1", 110 pounds wet. She was smaller than her guitar. But when she played, when she opened her mouth and sang, she filled the room and compelled you to listen. My mom had presence. At age 7, in what turned out to be a prophetic flash of my future short-lived stint as a graphic designer, I made her an album cover on a yellow legal pad. Debbie Finney, the big hit. The D and F in her name outlined in huge outdoor stage lights. When I was 12, I was going to get her on Star Search. I wrote to Ed McMahon at CBS, so he was expecting her. Dear Mr. McMahon, my mom, Debbie Finney, should be on Star Search. She writes songs and plays them for my school and my friends. You'll love her. Her voice is pretty and she can play flamenco guitar until her fingers bleed. I can't wait for you to meet her. She is a star. Sincerely, Jessie Finney. That's a few last names ago. Mom laughed when I told her about it, said she had her star. I persisted, made her watch Star Search every week and told her she was better than all of them. I begged her to go. I knew she'd win. Everyone needed to hear her sing. She said not everyone. Not everyone, no. She said no. I wanted more for her. I kept it up, persisting, pestering her about sending her music to labels, to agents, back when you did that shit, to anyone that could get it out into the world. I hounded her until when I was 19, she finally told me she'd given up the idea of music as a career when she got pregnant with me. She said she'd chosen, had no regrets, that the record was for friends and family and locals only. I hated that I was what came between the world and her voice. I wanted more for her. And when living with type 1 diabetes began to take its toll, her strength faded, and so did her music. The nightly sessions of guitar and banjo, singing with mom and dad in our living room, turned into weekend sessions, then on special occasions and family gatherings only. Then just when she thought she was alone in the house. The years made her too weak to hold her guitar. The eventual wheelchair made it too difficult to reach the piano. And finally, her fingers just fell away from her hands. And the records, they'd all disappeared, gone to friends or family long ago. Sorry. There we go. I'll get it. There we go. But her voice remained. Smaller, worn frail, but she could still make you listen. Still quiet a room. She found the perfect words when I couldn't, and put music to the things that we never talked about. And in the years since she died, I've done everything to try and keep that music alive, to not forget that voice. I keep the notebook of her handwritten lyrics, still with that, album cover I made her, still have that, tucked away where nothing can get to it. And I go through it on occasion. Try to remember how each song sounded, my lips forming the words while my voice searches for lost melodies. I sing her songs when I feel alone, when I feel like celebrating, when I need that voice, when I need a mom. This year, I went to Arizona to pick up what's left of my family. Boxes and boxes of collected mementos strewn across the living room floor I'd spent so much time in. Christmases, surprise visits home, family reunions. I stood in the middle of all of these memories, deciding what of my family I could let go of. And then my dead uncle's partner came out from the back room, holding that record, the one I thought was lost, the one that holds her voice. I felt her quicken in my rib cage and move into my throat, a heavy rebirth that came out as a half sob. I thought I'd never hear it again. And later that day, 23 years after she died, a group of people who knew her sat with some who only know stories of her. My cousin set the needle on the 45, and that voice quieted a new room. It pushed through static and dust and moved through us, stilled 3 generations. I watched my best friend from high school cry and sing along quietly, eyes closed, tears mixing with memory. My cousin Leanne sat next to the record player, hanging her head, singing quietly, swaying. Leanne's grandchildren sat silent, watching the adults in the room with questions in the tilts of their heads, a touch of wonder in their eyes. The 13-year-old said, "I couldn't understand all the words, but I like that music. I like that voice. That voice. My mom was supposed to be a star. I wanted that for her for so long. But in the end, I just wanted her to have more strength, more comfort, more time. I always wanted more for her."